Welcome back, race fans, to the Flashracing Cup Series Season 4, the 4th annual season of the Flashracing Cup Series, starting off with the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, the most grand event in automobile racing, and of course, it's the biggest stock car racing event in the world. And in the Flashracing Cup Series, it is no different. The Daytona 500 is a race that every team wants to win, big or small. Every driver, every team, every manufacturer wants to see their equipment in victory lane. And there is no better time to do it than in the beginning of the season. And of course, this is the next generation's cars' first die-cast race on the super speedways. This is going to be really exciting to see how well these next-gen cars perform with the draft, the handling, and just the overall teamwork of the manufacturers, drivers, and teams to push themselves to victories and great finishes. But of course, a great finish means nothing without a victory in the Daytona 500 for the biggest race teams in all of American motorsports. And of course, this is a really exciting event for the drivers and fans alike. And of course, without further ado, let's go down the stories of the race. And we can't start the stories of the race without bringing up the previous winner of this event. Almost said erase. Alex Bowman. Yeah, that's right, folks. He's a two-time Daytona 500 champion, winning in Season 1 and in Season 3. Can he go for the double down here in Season 4? And of course, it won't be a three-peat, it'll be a double down because he has won Season 1 and lost in Season 2. However, a win is a win in the Great American Race, and this number 48 team with Alex Bowman, they're Season 1 champions, they're Daytona 500 champions, they have a lot of race wins, and of course, the expectation is that today will be no different for team number 48. They know what it's like to be in victory lane with the Harley J. Earl Trophy in the Flashracing Cup Series, so keep an eye out on Alex Bowman today. And of course, when you look out front, it's a Hendrick Chevrolet lockout for the qualifying. As Kyle Larson is on pole, Chase Elliott is starting second. No surprise to see Hendrick Motorsports cars lock out the front of the field. The Chevrolet Camaros are the superior race car here today. And it's going to be really exciting to see how well these teams can perform, because Hendrick Motorsports is the biggest team in NASCAR. And of course, the Daytona 500, locking their cars out on the front row is something they're very good at doing. And of course, tonight is no different. Larson's on pole. He doesn't run the greatest on super speedways, but, you know, I'm not asking you about that. What I'm asking you is, what are the chances of this Kyle Larson guy just going out there and winning the Daytona 500? I'd say the chances are very high with the equipment he has today, as well as the golden boy, Chase Elliott. You're defending champion of the Flashracing Cup Series. He won the championship in Season 3, heads into Season 4 with a chance to win the Daytona 500 on the front row. And of course, Hendrick Motorsports, of course, is the best team so far for Speed Weeks. But of course, you can't forget about the hot shots from the Charlotte Roval. You got Team Penske. Of course, you have Austin Cindric, who won the first ever next-gen event. Even though it was non-points paying, a win is a win, and he started it off with a bang. So Austin Cindric looking to start his rookie season. He's a rookie contender, looking to make big things happen this season as a rookie. Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, just drivers that really need to have better runs in the Flashracing Cup Series, have a great chance today with the starting positions they got. Look at Daniel Suarez up there. I mean, holy cow. Very high starting position for him. Higher than usual, of course. And we got Tyler Reddick driving the 45 because Kurt Busch, of course, is out with a concussion, unfortunately. Richard Childress Racing is not going to field an 8 car for quite some time, and if they don't run it this season, that means Tyler Reddick is going to be in the number 45 for the rest of the year, starting with the Daytona 500. And of course, you got one of the most ambitious drivers in the Flashracing Cup Series. You've got Philip Torres driving the number 46 car for his team. Yeah, that's right, Flash Racer Motorsports is no longer really a thing. While it still exists, it's under new ownership. During the off-season, Flash Racer sold the race team that he has owned for 15 years plus. He sold it to his cousin Philip Torres to run the team. It is your time, says Flash Racer, as he is going to pass on the torch of team ownership to his cousin Philip Torres. And now that he's the owner and has some of the best equipment in the field, it's time for Philip Torres to finally win that Flashracing Cup Series Daytona 500. Of course, you got your 2020, your Season 2 Rookie of the Year, Izzy B. Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin. Just a lot of big names and a lot of new names we usually don't see up front. Look at that. We have Eric Almirola, a great super speedway racer. And, of course, Simon Toyo Sports. That is a brand new race team, a rebranded race team from Torres Brothers Racing from Season 3. They now have 3 Toyota Camrys. Yeah, that's right, folks. This is going to be a team to watch all season long. Will this rebrand help Simon Torres get his career back on its wheels and, of course, just uplift his friends, his teammates of Alex Ross and Jessica Monnet, who, by the way, is the Rookie of the Year for Season 3, which is very, very interesting to think that she was the best rookie that year, considering that she has been bouncing from team to team, particularly RCR and Gaunt Brothers, and now is officially in a Toyota Racing Development contract and race team, so get a load of that, you guys. More Toyotas in the field than ever in the Flashracing Cup Series. This is the most Toyotas they have ever had. And, of course, brand new teams, which we will go over during the starting lineup. We have Kaz Gralla and the number 50 Pit Viper car. This is the Money Team's first points-paying race. And it looks like they've got a chance to run every race this season. They have a car produced, and they're ready to go do some big things this season and try to get that team developed for the future of the Flashracing Cup Series season. And, of course, William Byron starting lower than usual. Just a lot of low starters that you don't see start this low very often. As you look throughout the field, there's new names out front, new names in the middle and the back of the pack, just new names all around in different places, and it's going to be really exciting. Of course, we have RFK, just amazing, brand new race teams, rebranded, and of course, champions that have established themselves. And of course, how can we not mention the man behind the number 94? We have Flash Racer, the driver who has sold his race team to his cousin Philip Torres, as we mentioned before. However, this season is going to be quite different for Flash Racer. He is no longer an owner. Now he's a driver. Now it's his responsibility to go out and drive for his team and himself to get himself up there. Not only is he driving for himself, he's driving for his career. He could be in a bad position if he does not perform well this season. Of course, he has been trying to get his career back on track after finishing second and could have won the championship with 1 win. Very, very uncharacteristic for the Season 2 champion. Will he be able to turn things around this season and perform more consistently and win? And his consistency was pretty good in Season 3, but he just was not finding victory lanes. So, will this season be any different for the 6-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, Flash Racer? And, of course, your Season 2 champion. And, of course, Alex Ross trying to make a career resurgence. Just a lot of great stories. But you will see these stories unravel throughout the field as we go down the starting lineup for the Daytona 500, the Great American Race. Alright, folks, here is the starting lineup for the Daytona 500. Of course, in row 1, you have Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott, Hendrick Motorsports Lockout. Row 2, Austin Cindric and Joe Logano. Row 3, we have Brad Keselowski for RFK, and of course Kevin Harvick. Row 4, we have Eric Almirola, Daniel Suarez. Row 5, we have the 2311 Racing Team with Tyler Reddick and the number 7 of Corey LaJoie. And that 2311 team now has 2 cars. Originally it was going to be Kurt Busch, now driven by Tyler Reddick. So you got Corey LaJoie. You got Philip Torres and Izzy B in the number 36 brand new ride for this season, moved away from RFK. We have Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin in the number 11. We have Eric Jones and Simon Torres. And of course, this is his first season as a team owner, and he is going to be driving just like Brad Keselowski, a team owner driver in the field. And of course, Philip Torres. We have Alex Bowman, your Season 1 champion, and Kyle Busch, a championship contender in the Flashracing Cup Series every year. We have Martin Truex Jr. and Christopher Bell. We have Noah Gragson, the NASCAR Xfinity Series superstar, and behind the number 62, the number 62's first points-paying race. We have Flash Racer on the number 94, Alex Ross in the 89. We have Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chase Briscoe, and of course, Petty Motorsports has now been expanded to 2 cars, and now Ty Dillon will be in that car for 1 more year. We have Ryan Blaney, Harrison Burton, another rookie, Jessica Monnet, your Rookie of the Year from last year. We have First Phase, number 38, of Todd Gilliland. And of course, we have Chris Buescher and Bubba Wallace in the number 23 Toyota Camry for 2311. We have Cole Custer and Austin Dillon. So RCR is only going to have one car for this race, as the lineup shows. And of course, in the final row of the Daytona 500 lineup, we have William Byron, the slowest Hendrick car. So very, very low starting position for a Hendrick car. His other teammates seem to be running a little bit better. And of course, you have Kaz Gralla in the Money Team Racing, the Pretty Boy Floyd-owned race car. What a tongue twister. That car's going to be starting out in last place. Going to have to work their way up the field. Without further ado, it's time to get the pre-race ceremonies on and the engines fired to get the Great American Race underway. Alright folks, the engines are fired, and the Richard Petty Motorsports 200th win car, the Firecracker 400 winner, is going to pace the field today. But before we get going racing here with the green flag, let's explain to the fans how the Flashracing Cup Series package works. So without further ado, let's explain that. So you see boxes across the racetrack, and what are those? They are spots. So with the life spinner, however many numbers you land on, that is where you are on the racetrack. So, first driver in the field are going to grind through the gears with 5 spins, and whatever number that spinner lands on, that's where you are on the racetrack. And with the super speedway draft and pushing dynamics, it's going to make it all that more interesting. So without further ado, it's time to get these race cars cleared from the racetrack and get the first ever next generation super speedway race of the Flashracing Cup Series history started with the green flag. Stay tuned, as Kyle Larson is going to lead them to the green. Alrighty folks, the cars have been cleared from the racetrack, and we are about to go green here for the Daytona 500, the Great American Race. So without further ado, the starter has the green flag in his hand, and the next generation of diecast racing is here, folks. The green flag is out. Here's Kyle Larson in his number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevy Camaro. Up through the gears he goes. Down the back straightaway he goes, and he is the fastest thing out there so far. Leading them to green is Kyle Larson. Here comes Chase Elliott in the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Camaro. And here comes Chase Elliott. He is in second place, but because this is a super speedway, he's going to suck up right behind his teammate, give him a little push, and there he goes. The pushing has already started between teams and manufacturers as they are lining bumpers up and working together right away. Okay, folks, here comes Austin Cindric in the number 2 Discount Tire Ford Mustang. Let's see what the rookie has. He's a Daytona 500 champion in the Cup Series. Let's see what he has for the field. Here he comes, and he is going to be in 3rd place so far, but he is going to suck up right behind the Hendrick Motorsports cars, and it looks like he's going to need a teammate to help him keep up with him because those Hendrick cars are shoving, and they are out front. Elliott's got his teammate Larson out front. Austin Cindric running 3rd, but no fear for him. He's got a teammate coming right up. Here comes Joey Logano in the number 22 Mustang. Pennzoil machine. Here he goes, Joey Logano, and he is going to do it. He's going to lock up right behind his teammate, Austin Cindric, and they're going to try to make a run, but it looks like the Hendrick cars have much more momentum than Team Penske. But without further ado, Logano has gotten a hold of his teammate, and now it's pretty much a drag race between Hendrick Motorsports and Team Penske right now, with Team Penske lined up right behind them, ready to make a charge when necessary. Here comes Brock Keselowski and his number 6 Kohler Generators car. Let's see how far he can make it. Here comes Brad Keselowski. And Brad Keselowski is a Ford. He didn't roll the highest number, but he is going to try and work with these guys right here. And of course, here comes Brad Keselowski. He's going to line up right behind his old teammate, Joey Logano. As you can see, Brad Keselowski, a Ford. So looks like 3 Fords are pushing. And here they come with the run that Brad Keselowski got. Now the Hendrick cars are falling behind. And yeah, that's right, folks. When you have enough people pushing you, they are going to help you get out front and get that advantage. That is part of the Flashracing Cup Super Speedway package. And because of that huge shot Keselowski gave to those other 2 Fords, now the Hendrick cars are falling behind. And now it's Austin Cindric leading the Daytona 500. Here comes Kevin Harvick, and that is how much teamwork means in this Daytona 500 and in super speedways. Here comes Kevin Harvick. As he goes into the super speedway back straightaway, and he's a Ford, and here he comes. Now the Chevys are falling behind, and now Kevin Harvick's going to line up right behind Brad Keselowski right there, but he's going to stay put. The Penske car still got a hold of this race. And now the top 5 is now majority Fords. So the Ford Mustang group is so far the best. The Chevy Camaros are falling behind even with the teamwork. They're going to need some more Chevys up there. And here comes another Ford. So here he comes, Eric Almirola in the number 10 Smithfield Mustang. As he's going around the racetrack. And it looks like he's not going to have the fastest run, but he's got those other Fords right there out front. So he's going to lock up right behind his teammate. Now you're seeing teammates come together right now between Kevin Harvick and Eric Almirola. But it's still going to be the Penske racing cars. But, oh boy, here comes a Chevrolet. Daniel Suarez in the number 99. Let's see what he's got. Trackhouse Racing's first next-gen super speedway race. As a brand new team last year, they debuted. And here comes that Chevrolet power. 3 Chevy Camaros working together. And it looks like Suarez had enough of a shot to pass. Oh, we got a lot of contact between the 10 and the 4 and the 6. They're going to lose momentum. The 6 is going to stay where he is. But that bump kind of just disillusioned the 10 and the 4. And here they come. Now Chevrolet. 3 Fords and 3 Camaros are battling out front, 50-50 between Ford and Chevy. And of course, the other 2 Fords fell back. That was a bump and a half right there, and they lost a lot of momentum. Kind of a bit. You want to push, but you don't want to push too hard, because then that's what happens. You lose momentum, and if you just bump them the wrong way, and that's exactly what we just saw right there with the 6, 4, and 10. But thankfully, the 6 was the benefactor because he was the one out front of him. Austin Cindric is still winning the Daytona 500 Stage 1. Gonna have to see how much longer he can stay out front in this stage, as well as when the pit stops come along. But here comes the first Toyota. Oh boy, this could be a bit hard in Stage 1. There's not many Toyotas so far, but here comes Tyler Reddick. His friends are gonna be where he finds them. That is what's dictated so far with what we've seen to the field. But hey, man, he has a pretty high number, so he's not completely out of it. And it looks like he is going to try to get past. And it looks like he's going to be behind Daniel Suarez, but he did get high enough number to where he got that run to get past the 4 and the 10. So Tyler Reddick, there he is, folks. So if there's any more Toyotas, keep an eye on the 45. That's a guy you want to try to push because he's got a lot of speed. But Austin Cindric still has a hold of this one. Team Penske domination here in Stage 1. Here comes another Chevrolet Camaro. So it looks like now the Chevys are starting to roll in. Here comes Corey LaJoie in the number 7. What does he have? And not the fastest run He is going to get past those Mustangs right there, but that is just about it. Doesn't have a fast race car, but he's just going to find his friends where they are in that number 7 car. So looks like those two are out in the middle, those 45 and 7 cars out in the middle of no man's land back there. Here comes another Chevy. Phil Torres in number 46 has the highest aspirations of winning a Daytona 500. So let's see the speed he brings. Wow, he rolled a high number. So let's see where that puts him. And it's a Chevy. He's got plenty of people to work with. And here he comes, passing the Hendrick Motorsports train right there, folks. Looks like he has the highest number a Camaro has rolled all day long. And it looks like there he is. Philip Torres is now the lead Chevy here in this race. He is the poster boy, the banner boy. He's holding the banner, holding the torch for Chevrolet. And now it looks like they've got 4 cars right there. And it looks like they might be able to power past him. They need another Chevy to get a bigger run. Here comes Izzy B, another Ford. And we already know how strong Fords are. So let's see how Izzy B runs this one. Remember, there's a lot of cars, so you're going to have to find wherever your friends are. But, of course, luckily for Izzy B, she's got plenty. She's got Harvick, Almirola, and it looks like now the Fords are going to work together. There's 3. There's enough to pass to 45 and 7 right there. And it now looks like the more Fords are coming up right here. And the 7 and 45 are falling back. LaJoy and Reddick. But we got another Ford pair up, so this is the second chance for Ford to get that top 5 back. But it looks like as though the Penske Racing machines are there. But it looks like Daniel Suarez needs a bit more speed to get those guys pushed ahead of those Fords. But they have one more fast Chevy. They're going to push him out front. Here comes Ross Chastain in the number 1. We're going to have to see what he's got. He hits hard, just like Philip Torres. So let's see what he has. Looks like he's got a really high number he's rolled. And this could be the chance for Chevrolet. And it looks like now he is going to actually make up track position as well. Look at that. So not only are the Chevys got someone to work with now, he is going to get past Daniel Suarez. But because these two work so well together, look at the run they're going to have. The Fords have fallen back. Keselowski, Logano, and Cindric. And now Phil Torres assumes the lead. And here comes the other Chevrolets. Here they come. And now they're coming into formation. Here's the shot from the 5. And here come the rest. And now it looks like as though Phil Torres is out front in the Daytona 500. PTR Flash Racing has got to lead a lap. How fantastic is that? There's a lot of Chevys out front. So now Chevys are dominating the front with Phil Torres. But oh boy, here comes another Toyota Camry. And remember, there's not a lot of Toyotas so far. So we're going to have to see where Denny Hamlin ends up in the spectrum here. So let's see what he's got for Denny Hamlin. And of course, right by his teammate. And they are going to work together. And now he's going to push his teammate. Let's see how far he gets him. And it looks like they're going to end up in the middle of the Fords because just Tyler Reddick just gave a huge shot to Denny Hamlin right there. So, looks like we may have a line forming. We just got to get a few more Toyotas, and they could possibly push by the Chevrolets. And, of course, Philip Torres is still out front with Larson behind him. Elliott, Chastain, and Suarez is your top 5 as the 45 and 11 begin the teamwork. Here comes Eric Jones and the number 43 Camaro. It's another Chevrolet. And we already know those guys can make something happen. So let's see what he's got. He rolled a pretty low number, so he's probably not going to make it very far. He did roll higher than Corey LaJoy did, but it's not going to make it very far. They're going to lock up, but they can't really do much. Their cars are just not fast enough. But, of course, the fastest Chevrolets, Hendrick, PTR Flash Racing, Trackhouse, fastest Chevrolets so far. Here comes Simon Torres, another Toyota Camry. Are they going to build a run? Let's see what he's got. Simon Torres. He's got to put himself in position. And he's got a pretty good number. So it looks like he's going to power past the 2311 train. But of course, Denny Hamlin, yes, they are rivals. Denny Hamlin and Simon Torres are rivals. But guess what? This is for the Daytona 500. Your friends are where you find them. Once again, a huge point of the day. And the Toyota Camrys. Looks like they're going to power past the Fords because there's a pack of 3 Fords right behind the 622 and 2. But of course, they were far too separated. And now the Toyotas start to make a run so far here in this race, this great American race. And now it looks like the Toyotas are starting to build up, generate some power. But it still looks like as though Phil Torres is still the leader. So you've got the Torres brothers leading their categories. You have Simon Torres in the number 71. And of course, the 46 of Phil Torres leading their categories. And oh boy, we got 2 big hitters of those categories. Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman. Championship threats every season they're there. Alex Bowman, let's see what he's got. Fast Chevy. He's got a lot of power in that thing. Rolls fantastic. And it looks like he's going to power past the Toyota train. And he's actually going to get a huge enough run to pass and make track position. And it looks like Phil Torres, Carl Larson are going to get by. And now the lead Hendrick Motorsports Camaro is Alex Bowman in the number 48 with Chase Elliott pushing, but it still looks like as though Philip Torres is going to keep getting pushes from the 5. As you can see, into the corner they go. Here comes another Toyota, Kyle Busch. And remember, there's not a lot of them, but they have enough speed where they can push and get big runs and give them the advantage. And it looks like it's going to happen, folks. That's a high number. If he pushes hard enough, he can easily get those Toyotas out front. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to pass them, but he has a lot of power. And here he comes. Because of that huge run up the outside. Here they come. Kyle Busch, Simon Torres, Denny Hamlin, and Tyler Reddick follow suit. Here they go. And it looks like they're starting to get that outside line working. The Trackhouse racing cars are going to fall back a little bit because that's a huge run that those guys have. And sure enough, the outside line is beginning to move here, folks. Of course, you got Simon Torres pushing his boyhood hero, getting that outside line going. But it looks like the Chevrolets are still working together as that outside line of Toyotas start coming. So you can already see the teamwork of those Toyotas. Kyle Busch is the leader of the category. But here comes some more Toyotas. This could be a huge shot. 2 of them in a row. Here they come. Martin Truex Jr. and Christopher Bell are the next. Let's see. Martin Truex Jr. Here he comes. He's got a high enough number. He could possibly pull something ridiculous out here. Of course, he's going to get past. Looks like, oh, contact right there. So it's going to come with a bit of contact. And of course, when you're racing at super speedways, these guys tend to get a bit close. And of course, that outside line is moving even more. Here they come, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, and Tyler Reddick following suit with the teamwork. And that outside line is getting quite close. As you can tell, Elliott, Bowman starting to fall back a little bit. Simon Torres, Kyle Busch, Truex, Hamlin, Reddick, as they're making that outside line. And we got another Toyota that could push it even further. Here comes Christopher Bell in the number 20 DeWalt Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs, Simon Toyo Sports, the only Toyota teams with a competitive shot. Let's see what he brings with his number, Christopher Bell, as he works his way around the pack, getting them up there. And of course, it looks like he's not going to get any further. There's a lot of traffic in his way. But now, that outside line is starting to move. Here comes Alex Bowman and Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson and Phil Torres. And here he comes. Kyle Busch is going to make the outside line work because look at all the teammates he's got. He's got Simon Torres, Truex, Hamlin, Reddick, Bell. Here they come. They are making it happen, folks. The outside line is starting to move. And now the Fords, as you can tell, Trackhouse Racing is out in the middle of nowhere. But the Fords are starting to fall back. Of course, the slower cars are still there. But now we got competition and a fight for the front. Phil Torres and Kyle Busch. Noah Gragson in the number 62. Here he comes. Not the fastest run but he is going to get past the 7 and 43. They are Chevrolet teammates, but they're not really going to get that much out of it. Not a lot of speed out of those cars. Neither with Noah Gragson, but the battle heats up even more out front. Philip Torres and Kyle Larson working together, making that outside line work. And of course, Kyle Busch and Simon Torres making their outside line work. The bottom, the inside with Larson and Phil Torres. Outside with Simon Torres and Kyle Busch. Stay tuned. We will be back right after this.